I'm Kerry Fink with Helping Seniors Updates. Welcome to Friday. It's June the 5th. And on behalf of Joe Steckler, Kim Bernard, and the entire Helping Seniors crew, thank you for tuning in to Helping Seniors Updates. Our effort is always to give you information about things that are going on around our county. And in particular, while we're in this phase of still being careful about social distancing and all the things that they're teaching us about these COVID-19 precautions. But I'm excited to say that things are slowly moving their way back to sort of a normal. And I'm excited today that our guest for Helping Seniors Updates is John Frederiksen. John has been a longtime friend of Helping Seniors and Joe and has just helped us almost virtually since the day Joe founded the organization. John is the publisher and editor of Senior Scene magazine. And for those of you guys that look forward to that every month, it's really a premier publication on the Space Coast. I know every time we go to a Senior Scene Helping Seniors kind of senior expo, the first thing people are doing is running up saying, listen, where's Senior Scene magazine? I want to get my copy. So John, you have a very sought after publication.
Well, I certainly believe that, and appreciate you saying that. So, and I'm glad you reminded me that it's Friday. It seems like one of the problems lately is trying to remember what day it is.
And that is so much the case. In fact, we were joking before we were rolling for this that, as we've watched even TV anchors try to work from home and figure stuff out, it's the same thing. They have to try to figure out which day and then all of that. But it's nice to know that we're kind of going back into a normal phase, because I know even through the magazine, you had to make a lot of adjustments going through this whole COVID-19 precautions with the May issue, but things are getting back to normal. The June issue is on the street. And I wanted to ask you to share a little bit about what's going on with Senior Scene magazine.
Yeah, we are getting back to somewhat of a normal. I really hate the term new normal. That makes it sound so permanent. But one of the things we had to do was the calendar portion of our magazine. We have two massive calendars. One is general organizations and events for the public, and the other is those that are strictly intended for seniors. But anyway, for those two calendars, we've had to cut back quite a bit on those because they're just not meeting. The venues aren't open. So we just provide some minimal contact information for those places for our readers in the meantime. That's been the major change for the magazine through this. But just spoke to some of the folks at Brevard Cultural Alliance just yesterday, and they are starting to get some information back, including King Center schedule. Good. So that's good news. Looking forward to doing that and providing that service once again.
It's a step in the right direction. I think we were also talking, the Helping Seniors offices are in the Senior Resource Center of Brevard, which is located beachside. It's actually co-located with Zon Beachside right there on South Patrick Drive, just a shade north of where the O'Galley Causeway comes across. And we have, because of all the extra COVID-19 restrictions and the abundance of caution and safety measures that Greg Kennedy, who's the executive director there, had wanted to put in place. I think they were literally one of the very first facilities to go into that, let's keep our seniors safe and lockdown. So we've all been working virtually. Kim Bernard, the Senior Information Helpline, is wide open. I'm going to give you that number in a moment. And she is busy taking calls from people and assisting seniors throughout Brevard County, even now. But we haven't actually been in the office. But carrying on the theme that you're talking about is on, I think it's July 10th, we're actually having our first kind of get everybody back together and start getting together with the events and programs that we had really been so excited about. We've been doing those monthly Helping Seniors Senior Resource Center community events there in the Nautilus Ballroom, and getting good attendance, good turnout, good enthusiasm, and good reports from people who said the information was valuable. So we're actually moving into that phase of starting to get organized for I guess you would say the latter half of the year. And I am glad to see that people are now contemplating events and things like that again. And I guess that I know also, John, is that I've heard so often from people, one of the things they admire and appreciate about your magazine is that you are just a great resource for what's going on around the county.
Yeah, we do hear that from our readers. And in fact, some of our subscribers are out of town, and they just want to know, I guess they're snowbirds, want to know what's going on and do their planning around that. So, yeah.
It is funny because I know also, again, from being out at some of Nina's amazing senior events, which I assume that she'll be back with those as we get into the fall season, and they give us the all the relaxation so we can do all those things safely. But the same thing, I know that people will come back after snowbird season and say, I'm back. I want to get the Senior Scene magazines from the summer because I may have missed them. And then all the information is good. And we always say everything is good in there. The only thing that switches up every month is that, the calendar stuff already came and went, but you're going to enjoy reading the articles in all cases. And so they love getting Senior Scene magazine. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about, for people who don't know Senior Scene magazine, maybe they're new to the area, or describe a little bit about what the magazine is about and what you set out to do each month with it.
Yeah, I like to describe it briefly as a lifestyle magazine. Mm-hmm. So we have articles, they're entertainment articles, some are Hollywood kind of articles, nostalgia articles of history in the Brevard area. Then we have financial articles, health articles, and it's just, and those articles are not necessarily only for that month. They can apply to somebody's needs for the rest of their lives. So yeah, there's a lot of information that is not limited to current affairs. So and we like to do it that way. We more address the magazine towards that, and not so much for current news like a newspaper would do. So it has good longevity. And yeah, go get it, the old issues, or go online and read an old issue if you want to look at that information.
That's true. I was going to say, you have an archive of all the issues, and you find those at seniorscenemag.com, seniorscenemag.com. And I also want to remind people, if you have a business and you're interested in reaching seniors, you need to give John Frederiksen a call. The rates and the packages and ways you have to reach this community are very affordable. How do people get in touch with you if maybe they have a business, or they're saying, listen, now things are opening back up, I need to get some word out about what our organization is doing, or our business, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, we have two main methods. One is the phone number, and if we'll have time to put that out here, which is 321-777-1114. We try to keep it easy. And then also I have a easy to remember web address or email address. And for those of us that have been with AOL a while, seniorscene@AOL.com. And we hear jokes about, AOL being old fashioned, but you'd be surprised how many of my readers and advertisers have an AOL address. And so I'll be proud of that. So that's the other way to reach us.
That'll work. Well, I would encourage you to get in touch with John Frederiksen for that. As you know, Helping Seniors and Senior Scene have had a great relationship going for many, many years. You helped us early on as Joe Steckler was starting the organization, and Joe had a desire to get a newsletter out so that people would know not only what was going on with our organization and the fact that he had established the county's Senior Information Helpline, which again, now I'm going to give you that number, 321-473-7770, 321-473-7770. And that number, Joe, when he first established it, he envisioned that we would be a resource to people throughout Brevard County and go much deeper than, there's a good referral number and things like that in our county. But what he really wanted us to do was set apart and take time to help seniors with the challenges and try to get them connected to resources that will help advance the situation, whatever that is that they're facing. And so because of that, these calls, they take, it's not just here's a call, here's a number, call these people, hope it works out. But Kim really works these as cases and kind of chases down and makes sure that we're taking the right steps to help as much as any place we can. And so over the years, that little Senior Information Helpline has helped more than 3,000 families free of charge. And Joe wanted to create that newsletter to be able to let folks know what was going on in the county. And you were kind enough to help carry us along, as we call it, the yellow pages, because they have that distinctive yellow border in the magazine each month. And I know people come up and they look for Joe's column in there. They look for the information that that is provided every month in there. And that goes out to tens of thousands of people every month, both in the print version, online through the magazine. And then, of course, we propagate it in the Helping Seniors channels. And in fact, together, we're also working on some exciting concepts. We have that Senior Scene Helping Seniors directory, Senior Services directory, that's published every month in the center of the magazine. It's got a lot of businesses and things that people can rely on. And we're excited about some things that we're even going to be able to expand all that together as we keep going forward, John. So I just see exciting things ahead.
Yeah, I do want to mention something going back a little bit. Your helpline. We receive here occasional calls of seniors needing help, really some heartfelt stories.
Yes.
And of course, we forward them on to Kim in your organization. But through this pandemic time, those calls are still coming in, and we're still sending them over to you guys to help these folks. And it's just so valuable, that what you're doing, and the county really has to appreciate it.
I agree. I think, I remember when I first met Joe, and he was talking about launching Helping Seniors at the time, and he'd come from all the successful work that he'd done with the getting the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation established, and creating the Joe's Clubs, which to this day are a great service in our community through the Brevard Alzheimer's. But he said, Kerry, what I've learned along the way is, he said, seniors have more issues oftentimes than just exclusively with memory and memory care. And he said, I really feel like there needs to be somebody who's out there championing for seniors and trying to help with all these various things. And as you know, John, we get calls. Kim takes calls. They're financial, they're legal, they're medical, they're transportation, they're housing. I mean, the list goes on. And I tell people, I said, you might think that if you lived in the county, you may know some of these numbers or some of these people to connect with. But number one, this county is growing so fast, the number of people moving into the county, and we get so many calls from people who are new to our area. They don't know who to call or where to start or who to trust. And that's one of the reasons they call us. We get a lot of calls from people who are here in town, but running up on situations that they've never had before. So Joe and I were talking about this story on the Helping Seniors Update, but Kim had a call, I think it was last week, from a 94-year-old person who really depended on a caregiver, a professional caregiver, but this caregiver was now sick and going into the hospital. And so this 94-year-old was having to try to figure out some way to get care, because obviously they were housebound. And so Kim was able to help resolve that. But that's very typical of the kind of situation. You may have lived here for 30 years, 40 years, but all of a sudden now you're confronted with a new situation. And that's what Kim does her best to try to help with. The third category is that we get lots and lots of calls from all over the United States, from people who have relatives that live in Florida, but they don't. And they're trying to find help for those relatives and find a good way to do it. And that's why I think the work of Helping Seniors is so important, but it's also why what you do with Senior Scene is so important, John, because just like you mentioned, you have snowbirds who subscribe to the magazine so they can stay up with things even when they're up north during the summer months.
Yeah, and they are very vocal about getting the magazine, and we enjoy doing it. There's no doubt.
Well, it's a labor of love. You've done this for a long time here on the Space Coast.
Oh yeah, this since '06 here. Yeah, definitely.
So you've reached.
It's a great area, and the folks are great. So.
So it's so good. So as we kind of bring today's Helping Seniors updates into a wrap, one of the things we try to do is we try to help people with any information or any suggestions that we have for them. You can get all of the archived Helping Seniors updates. They're all at helpingseniorsupdates.com. But John, do you have anything that you would want to share or suggest to folks as we're trying to get into our new normal here?
You using that term too.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, if you need a diversion, do go to the Senior Scene website and read some of the old articles, do some of the old puzzles. I say old, but a few months back, and learn a little bit. And you'd be surprised how well that can help your mind reset somewhat from what's going on in the moment. But use that opportunity, use that service, and put it to good use.
Yeah, no, it's there. seniorscenemag.com. So thank you, John Frederiksen, for joining us on today. And real quick, as we close out, just wanted to give a fast update. Car raffle tickets are available. HelpingSeniorsCarRaffle.com. HelpingSeniorsCarRaffle.com. Somebody is going to win their choice of a 2020 Chevrolet Camaro, a 2020 Dodge Challenger, a 2020 Kia Sportage, or the ever popular 2020 cherry red Mazda Miata convertible. And Joe Steckler is working with Mike Pylock, the owner of the American Muscle Car Museum. They're getting together the revised grand drawing date, which we can release as soon as the governor releases the restrictions on larger gatherings. I think we're up to gatherings of 10 now, John. So we're going in the right direction, and we'll have that information. We pledge to keep you updated on that. And as Joe Steckler said on the Helping Seniors update that we did earlier this week, he said, I promise you we're having this the moment that they're able to get the date together. So on behalf of Joe Steckler, Kim Bernard, and the entire Helping Seniors crew, and John Frederiksen, because Senior Scene, you're really part of the Helping Seniors crew too. We thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a pleasant weekend ahead. Stay safe, and thanks for supporting the work of Helping Seniors.
Take care.